Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closures.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Amar Elm, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by Ginger Johnson, the founder and CEO of Ginger Johnson LLC, a powerhouse in the realm of human connection and communication. Ginger is a speaker, author, educator, and connector whose mission is to elevate how individuals and organizations create meaningful connections in business and life. Through keynotes, workshops, her book, Connectivity Canon, and her vibrant presence both online and offline, Ginger is helping leaders connect on purpose with purpose.
Right on. Well, this sounds like a kind of an important person.
Just a little bit.
Not quite. I'm thrilled to be here with you.
I'm excited to have you as well. I always like to start from the beginning. So take us back to before you started Ginger Johnson LLC. What were you doing beforehand, and what was really the motivation behind starting the company?
In the beginning, Amar, I have had many adventures, and I come to my life with the perspective that there is so much opportunity we have in front of us. So I have been a middle school teacher, I have been a firefighter, I have sold bread, I have sold pet food, I have worked in the hardware industry, I've managed volunteers at a heritage Viking ship center. There's just so many different things. The golden thread that ties them all together, Amar, and that's something that the audience listeners can really noodle on is what's your golden thread? What's your through line? And for me, that's education. How do you help lead people into the room? Like the light switches are here. You know this. Let's be a guide. Let's be somebody who supports. So I've done a lot of different things. I've had my own companies for, gosh, going on 22, 23 years, different iterations, different purposes. So it's been a wild ride. But I remember the moment I decided to become an entrepreneur, Amar. And it was when I had stepped out of the realm of a theoretically C-suite desirable spot with a company. And I needed to step out. I needed to reset. I loved the industry, but I needed to reset myself. I'm not able to have the impact I want to have. Good people, just not the right ship. So I
Yeah.
stepped away and I gave myself a month to decompress. And then at the beginning of that next month, I said, okay, I got two lanes in this road. I could risk working for someone else again, or I could start my own thing. And
Mm,
that's what started the journey.
that's powerful. So I could risk starting my own thing or work for someone else.
I could risk working for someone
Oh, I
else.
could risk working for someone
Yeah,
else.
most people are like, wait a minute, did you just say that? Yes.
Nothing.
But
Yeah,
risk
yeah.
is calculated. This risk is calculated. So what's in the balance of what we think we want? So there's risk both ways. But I like to do that because I'm like, do I want to invest my life in something else for someone else?
Mm.
Or am I going to invest my whole life in me and where I want to go?
Wow, I love that. And that's a great frame of looking at life because it is technically more risky to build someone else's dream as opposed to build your own and learn in the process. Obviously, there's iterations that you evolve into. So I would love to give the listeners more context into today, what your business looks like. Let's start off with who would you say is your ideal customer? Who do you love to work with? And then what are the different offers and services that you provide?
Mm. The superhighway's been a blast. I am all about working with a mindset connection. One of the coaches I've worked with, for example, in the past, which I think will be really helpful for the entrepreneurs listening to this, is there's so much conventional talk. I won't even call it wisdom, but there's so much conventional talk and opinion of if you do this, then you should do this. If you do this, you can do this. And then I remove the shoulds. I chose to have gingerjohnson.com and a super sexy name, but who cares? My modalities are keynote speaking, workshops, professional development. Everything is in the bedrock, Mar, of human connection, the power of human connection. Because frankly, it's the who we are that matters the most. What we do is academic. It's totally academic. I mean,
Yeah.
you've done some different things. If I asked you what was your first paycheck job or pay stub job, I'm guessing that it wasn't this. So letting ourselves
Very
off the hook and thinking about that. My current ideal mindset happens to be the decision makers in
interesting.
associations in organizations that are doing good in the world. I can give you a few examples. I work with a lot of different associations, and as a keynote speaker, I am brought on stage to entertain, educate, have that impact. A keynote speaker, this is an interesting sidebar. I don't know if a lot of people have thought about this, speakers do, but keynote actually means you're striking the keynote. It's like when the violin gets up for the orchestra to tune in. A
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a keynote is so vital, Amar, because you're literally striking the tone.
Wow, I did not know that. Very cool.
Yes. And so that's why a keynote, there's a lot of writing on keynotes.
Yeah.
And I take that very seriously. I don't take myself too seriously, but I really want to do well for striking that keynote. That'll either sail the ship with a nice broken bottle of champagne, or we'll stand on the shore and, okay, see ya. So the ones I love to serve the most, we have a mindset match of this is really vital. It's not
Yeah.
just important. People who want the highly charged ginger experience. It's not about me, Amar. It's about what I can deliver and about how people engage. That comes from my days of teaching middle school. If I could
Mm,
take a room at middle schoolers and we could really vibe and groove, like middle schoolers are my people, then we can go somewhere. So it's often associations, it is leaders of companies. I've worked for billion-dollar companies, I've worked with offices of 5 people.
mm,
As an entrepreneur and in the entrepreneur's mindset of being a founder of something that matters,
yeah.
that nimbility has served me well by serving my clients well. I'm never concerned. Here's a little nugget. I'm never concerned with the number of people in the room. I'm concerned with the people who are in the room.
Got it. I love that. I like that a lot. I didn't know the keynote aspect, but I also like you're not concerned with the number of people, but it's the the types of people that are there. And it sounds like you want to work with organizations that have some sort of social impact or some sort of positive impact on the world. Is that accurate, would you say?
That is accurate. And that's a pretty broad net, Amar.
Sure.
And it's pretty easy to discern right away. I fundamentally believe that people are good.
Sure.
And our ride is either short or long. So, how do we want to ride and how do we want to invest it? I'm interested in working with people who I can get really curious about their work, people who are really fired up, that they have a solid team, with associations as an example. The associations that have the biggest impact, if we want to use that very current word, are the ones who they already have a really strong team for the association. However
Hmm.
lean or robust they're running, they all are like, yes, this is the pack I want to be part of. So let's go do it. That's such an entrepreneurial way of thinking, right? And so it can be billion-dollar companies. I've worked with some of those. I'm like, wow, this is fantastic. It's not exclusive that you have the right people or the right mindset in the room for size of business. And for the
Yeah.
record, your tax status has nothing to do with the good you can do in the world. When people trot out, we're a nonprofit, I'm for profit. What's your point?
Yeah.
There's a nugget. Like whatever business you're in, do not trot that out. It doesn't matter until it matters, and maybe it never will matter. Are you doing good? Are you serving? If I was
Mhm.
serving you, Amar, you want to make sure that I'm taking care of you. That's what's most important. You're not my CPA.
Yeah, I love that so much. Let's shift a little bit to the back end of the business because when you think about customer acquisition, and I think that's a big part of being able to impact more people, is to be able to effectively get in front of the right people. So when it
Mhm.
comes to generating leads and marketing, what is your approach currently to bring in more business?
Oh, good. You used to have a marketing agency. Marketing is communication.
Okay.
Haven't fallen in love with marketing yet. Fall in love with the fact that marketing connects us. Done well, which we could have a whole other episode on. But when we think about marketing, it's a Venn diagram: marketing, connection, and communication. Those three things are intrinsically entwined. And if we are doing work that matters to us, if we have a purpose to the work, way beyond passion, if there's purpose, then we're on the right track. Then we want to communicate, we want to share, we want to find out what people are looking for. I believe that I know that sales come when we serve. And it's not, you don't lead with the sale, you lead with the service. So
Mm,
how do I nurture and prospect essentially? How do I do that? I show up as myself every damn day. Every day. If I am not in the mindset where I am best in front of people, I use that as a reminder and a check-in. Okay, I'm gonna just step out and use this to refuel me, because I remember the first month of my very first business MR. If I would have kept that pace, I would have killed myself. And I'm not kidding. And
yeah.
I never would have thought I'd fallen into it. And it wasn't for any other voices. other than my own of you just got to keep going. I'm like, no, leave the grind for the beans. Don't do that. Doesn't serve anybody's purpose. I am focused on being me. Being me is it's my clients kind of self-select. They've either seen me on the stage, they've seen me on the screen, because I love online work, I love in-person work. They have qualified me. They've decided that I'm their person potentially. So I have a nice steady stream of inbound. I have an excellent website. It's not an egoic statement. I invest robustly in my website. And as a speaker, the number one thing to help you generate the leads, build the client relationships is to have an excellent professionally produced speaker reel. Hands down. No
Mm.
question. You wouldn't even need to have a website because you put it up on YouTube or Vimeo. But when I think about that and then I go more ripples out, okay, where does the next generation come from? That comes from me showing up and doing excellent work. The best marketing I can do is to do my best work. So there's a nugget for everybody listening. Don't skimp, don't cut corners, do your best. Take on the load that you can bear.
Yeah.
Get fractional help if you need, however that folds out. But if I don't do well on stage or in the room, then I'm like, ugh, this is not going to generate more. They're literally ripples.
Yeah. Super interesting. I think you made a lot of great points there. One thing that I'm curious your take on, because I was talking to a gentleman earlier this week, and he was telling me he gets a lot of referrals, he gets a lot of organic leads coming in through social media, and he expressed frustrations a lot around sometimes it's inconsistent, it's unpredictable,
Hmm.
and he has all these ebbs and flows in his business, and I just want more stability.
Yes.
I'm curious if you experience something similar, and what is your perspective on that?
Yeah, that's real. That's real. We all have our own version. My very first company was drastically different from what I'm doing now. It's still a service mindset, but I made pillows from scratch and sewed custom goods. So very different. At the same time, how do you develop that? What is the consistency you can build? So like four points on that. Number one, stick to what is your core purpose. I don't love using the word passion, Amar, because we like, oh, I'm so passionate about it. Yeah, but if passion doesn't have the bedrock of purpose, then you're just running all the time in the dang hamster wheel. Have the purpose. People are magnetized to purpose.
Yeah.
So, number one, be really strong in your purpose. Number two, hone your craft, invest in yourself. I have invested way more than six figures in myself by working with different coaches, cohorts, workshops, all these things. And that I'm at a level where I can do that. But when I started investing in myself, Amir, I didn't have discretionary cash laying around.
Mm.
Nah, like I started with what I could do. I remember the very first course I took. It was an online self-led 8 week. Here's the video, here's the lesson, here's the thing. And I'm also one of those students, like, I'm going to finish it all. It's a very low percentage of people who buy things that are online that they complete them. Like, and that blew my mind when I heard that. Of course I'm going to complete it. I bought it. I'm investing in myself. So that's my own ginger vibe. But that I finished that and I had two schools of thought. I'm like, oh, that was great being a student. This is terrific. Oh, that was interesting as a business. So those are a few things. The craft is really important. I continue to hone my craft as a speaker. People are relying on me. I'm relying on me because I know what it feels like to walk off the stage and think, dang it, that could be better. That's like the same version. I always want to do. And another one is find other people who are ahead of you,
Yeah.
who is in some sort of endeavor, any kind of endeavor where you look and gosh, that Amar, man, he is wow. I really appreciate who he is. He's doing work that matters. I want to get to know him. That's right. I got one to match. Get to know those people because when I'm thinking about it, who's ahead of me? Who can I learn something from that I'm still willing to give to and support? A trap that I think a lot of entrepreneurs fall into and founders fall into, Amar, is that we're just searching, taking. Hang on, that's called networking. I don't use that N word. I use the connecting, the C word, because when we really connect, like I'm getting the joy I'm getting in having this conversation. That is my return on connection.
I love that.
Give,
Yeah.
you're doing the heavy lifting, and let's just see where it goes. You took a chance on me. Like I'm taking a chance on this. This is time of our life we'll never get back. And when we do that enough and we listen to our internal compass, which is another point, listen to your internal compass is way wiser than just one of the compasses. The trifecta, the head, the heart, and the guts, listen to all three of those. There's a lot of entrepreneurs, myself included, who have made choices like, yeah, but I think it's the right thing to do. If we only rely on the think instead of the feel and the gut, we're not going to make the best decisions.
I think that is extremely wise, especially the gut piece. I think your intuition, when you're in alignment with where you want to go, your intuition will guide you there. But there's a bunch of things I want to cover, and we only have 9 minutes left. So let's try to run through these as fast as possible. When it comes to your sales process, a lead comes in, what are the different steps that they go through for them to become a client?
The first thing I do any inbound lead is I make a phone call. I
Got it.
don't email, especially if it's inbound directly from my website. That differentiates me. So if you're looking for differentiators, call people, ask for their phone number and call them. They are shocked. Get underway, find out it's a discovery, what are they looking for, is this a fit, what's the wiggle, and figure out some of those basic big rocks and
Awesome.
go from there. So it's pretty straightforward. I believe in simplicity, Amar, and I have client flow, I have the kickoff, I have those pieces, and I'm certainly happy to share some of that with the listeners in a PDF. But I like to keep it simple, and so does everybody else.
Yeah, I like that. When it comes to your vision and where you want to take the company over the next 12 months, are there any specific revenue targets, performance targets? Walk us through that.
Yes, I have one foot in the OKR KPI camp, and I have another one in the trusting the osmotic momentum I've already got. And so I like forecasting for speaking is really difficult, if not non-existent, because I have no idea when somebody has an event. So I'm not necessarily at the mercy, but I'm filling in different blanks when in the meantime, I'm not waiting, I'm doing the thing. So that is a big part of it. What part do you want me to cover next?
Yeah, I'm curious. Is speaking the main thing, or is there also coaching aspect to everything? I'm pretty sure you do coaching, right?
LinkedIn doesn't allow me to have a professional speaker as a descriptor, so I'm lumped into the coaching and training. So my main modalities of service, main services people hire me for are keynote speaking, absolutely. That's one of my main streams, if you will. And then workshops go underneath. I have two main headers. It's either programming or speaking. And speaking is speaking, keynotes, workshops, moderating panels, whatever is in there. And then programs are long term. So I have a couple of very robust ongoing clients where they're annual engagements,
Got
and I
it.
work with the exec leadership, and then the managers. I
I
just
love
finished a 2.5 day retreat, for example. So I love that. So if they're looking for some stability and some consistency, look at what you can roll forward that is really
Yeah,
meaningful for your potential client who you really want to serve, and have the wherewithal, have the guts, have the fortitude, have the confidence to say, you know, this is what I really love and this is what I'm going to focus on. Because when those hit, they're bigger. Like those
yeah,
two clients are some of my bread and butter. I can count on them. I take extra good care of them, Amir. That's not the time to say, okay, I've got them. I haven't landed the fish. Get rid of some of the language. Ooh,
yeah.
I get to take care of these people. I become an ad hoc team member. I take that I'm super grateful for that. And so I'm inspired in a different way.
Yeah, I love that. I love that tremendously. So, is when you think of the vision, is the idea to get more engagements that are annual engagements with those organizations, or to get more speaking gigs, or a combination of both?
It's definitely the combo platter for sure, because one complements the other. Uh,
Yes, and I love that you said that. Go for
yes, yeah, it really is. And it varies year to year. So another thing I encourage listeners to give yourself some grace. Like one year might be super robust. Like last year I got on 92 planes. I like it was a lot
it.
of
Oh my
speed.
goodness.
Yeah, and
That's
like that, and
wild.
that's moderate for some speakers. I have some colleagues who like they're getting on 300 planes. I don't want to do that. So determine back to one of your earlier questions, determine
Yeah,
modalities and how you want to serve. I love online work. I love it. There's different theatrics possible. So there's that. So then I look at what is the mix for the coming year. My
yeah.
vision is to connect the world. How I choose to do it is entirely up to me. I like to play repeat customers. Before you and I got on to record the show today, I was on a phone call with a repeat customer, a repeat client partner. I call them client partners. And like those are easy yeses. And here's another little nugget. Like price, this comes from one of my previous coaches, Win Without Pitching. Price the client, not the job.
Mm,
that if you literally have 20K for your keynote speaker, then let's talk. If you have 5 for your keynote speaker, you know what? I can probably make some recommendations. Or if we've worked together before and we've already met where we want to be, like, heck yeah, let's go ahead and do this again. I set the intention very obviously with my client partners to say, look, Amar, my intention is to work with you ongoing, whatever our frequency and rhythm develops to be. So maybe it's 5 years apart, maybe it's 12 months apart, maybe it's a series, maybe it's a this, maybe so it's on us. One of the key components of the connectivity canon is I talk about follow up and follow through. You
Yeah,
want to differentiate, follow up, and even more importantly, follow through.
I love that so much. You're sharing so much wisdom and so many nuggets here today. I'm curious, what do you feel like currently is the biggest challenge you're facing to taking this to the next level?
I truly believe everything is possible, Amar.
Mm,
So we tend to get in our own way more than anything else. I was on a coaching call earlier with one of my current coaches. It's a private group, and just a reminder, of course I can do this. Like one of my friends, Terry, says, what's your next $1 billion idea? It doesn't literally have to be billion, but think really big and get rid of the little. Do the
yeah,
stuff you need to do, and then get yourself to a point where you get really good at saying no thank you. And this is what I'm aiming for. The right people will show up. You will show up better authentically. Like, this is who I am. Like, I love that people self-select me because I'm a handful. I'm easy to work with. I'm easy to work with. My energy and my enthusiasm, it is not for everybody. And so that's immediately a clarifier, a qualifier. And so for
yeah.
everybody who's listening, that's why I say be 100% you, because there are people who are looking for you at your best as your best. And that is the biggest marketing that any founder can have.
Mic drop. That was powerful. Ginger, thank you so much for your time today, for sharing your story, sharing your insights. For people that want to work with you, what is the best way for them to reach out?
You can go to gingerjohnson.com, GINGERJOHNSON. And it's been a pure pleasure, Amar. Like what a treat. Thank you so much.
This
Appreciate
is a
it.
lot of fun. And we'll make sure to tag you to put things in the show notes that are easily accessible. So that wraps up another insightful episode of Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to check out gingerjohnson.com. Don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you're a business owner and you're looking to scale your business and really enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to discover how we can support your growth journey. Until then, keep on climbing.